If you struggle with painting realistic feathers, try this. I've been getting a lot of questions about how I get my watercolor bird paintings so detailed, especially when it comes to feathers, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to walk you through my process. For the feathers, I usually start with a simple underlay, where I try to match the colors of my reference. At this stage, I use a lot of water and less pigment. The trick is to do as much blending as possible in this first layer. Don't worry about getting everything perfect, you're just creating a base that will build on later. Next, I grab a slightly smaller brush and add another layer of color on top. This time, I use less water and more pigment to create deeper, richer shades. At this stage, I start thinking more about the flow and form of the feathers, following their natural direction and vertical lines. And don't worry if it looks a little too dark, watercolor usually lightens quite a bit as it dries. And finally, we get to the biggest secret to my feather technique, a really thin tipped brush. I use it to make lots of tiny, quick brush strokes, literally painting individual feathers on top of the previous layers. I mostly use darker colors for these lines because they help create the little gaps and shadows between the feathers. This is the step where I slow down and really follow my reference, paying close attention to the direction, length, and intensity of each feather. I also let some of the strokes extend slightly outside the shape to give the edges a more natural textured look. And that's it. That's how I usually build up all those tiny feather details in my watercolor bird paintings.